what is this chit fund about?
We didn't have banks those days. We had chit funds. Now banks have come. Mutual funds are, stock market, RD is there. There are various other options. Why do you want to do this? These guys who run chits, they actually make a tons of money. One guy, in case if he plans to cheat others, he will bring together all those people and collects money from everyone. One fine day he'll run away. Initially all are doing good. One day they'll collapse completely, then you lose all the money. Don't do it. Same like cryptocurrency. If government is really concerned about tax compliance, then they should ban this.
Anybody who has black money would never invest in anything other than a chit.
Stop doing it. I mean, there are so many other options. Chit fund is not the right way at all.
Every year I get to hear from one of my relatives that they have lost money in chit fund, they have been cheated, and every year at least one of my relatives comes to me and says that, oh, I have invested in a chit fund. Well, what is this chit fund about? The good, bad, ugly, everything we are going to discuss in this video. And to get an expert advice, I have with me the CEO and founder of Indian Money's Freedom app, Mr. C.S. Sudhir. Hello, sir. Welcome to yet another video where we are going to ask you a lot of questions. So, what exactly is a chit fund? Many people are not aware of this concept.
See, normally in a chit fund, a group of 20 people, they come together, form a group. They contribute equal amount of money for an equal duration. So normally a 20 people group, 20 months is a chit. Most of the chits are of this type. So then what happens? Assume they say it's a 1 lakh rupee chit. 20 people contribute 5,000 rupee each every month. So total collection is 1 lakh. Correct, right? So the reason it is being done is that in the olden days, I mean, you never had banks in village areas. You didn't have banks in every place. People didn't have bank accounts.
Yes.
So they wanted to save money. This was one easy way, right?
But how do they save money by contributing?
Right. So now what happens? 20 people, they all contribute 5,000 each. So it becomes 1 lakh rupee. Now 1 lakh rupee is saved together from 20 people. Now among these 20, one person needs some emergency loan.
Okay.
For something.
Yes.
Maybe for farming or business or some personal needs. He would borrow this 1 lakh rupee. But then while borrowing that 1 lakh rupee, based on the demand, like for example, they say that, okay, there are 3 people who need this 1 lakh.
Yes.
Then only one can take. So what do? 95,000, which means 5,000 rupee as a profit to the contributors. So 95 only he'll get. The other guy will say, no, I need emergency. You give me only 90,000. And it goes down till 60, sometimes even 50,000, which means all of us together contributed 1 lakh. Out of 1 lakh, we will only get, let's say, 60,000 rupees because of competition. What happened to remaining 40,000? That will remain with the one who is running the chit. Out of that 40, he will take maybe about anywhere between 7.5% to 10% or 5% as his running fee.
Yes.
So that money is his profit. The remaining 30 or 32,000 or 35,000 will be distributed equally among 20 members. That is their profit for that month.
Okay. If no one needs the money in the first month, then what happens?
They do a chit.
Okay.
So wherein among the 20, they do a lottery kind of thing. The
like
one
a lucky draw.
Lucky draw. And the one whose name comes up will have to take it, no charge. But then in that case, he will not lose any money.
Yeah, he'll get the money.
No, but then again, the one who's running the chit will take his fee. That is about 5 to 7.5%. That is his profit. See, these guys who run chits, they actually make a tons of money. But the concern with chitters, see, my point is things have changed. Do you have a landline phone at home?
Yes.
I mean, I think these days people don't have.
No,
right?
but I have a landline phone because it came in a package of broadband landline.
Yeah.
And
but then if I say that, okay, why don't you use that kerosene oil or candles at home? Why do we use lights? Because we've got electricity.
Yes,
right?
the technology has.
You know, will you use a feature phone today? We use smartphones because we've got smartphones.
Yeah.
Similar way, we didn't have banks those days. We had chit funds. Now banks have come. Mutual funds are there.
Yes.
Stock market is available. RD is there. There are various other options. Why do you want to do this? Right? So now, if you ask me, what's wrong with chit fund then? If it is good, let's use it. Problem is, these are all these private groups. Most of the chit funds which are run between the families or friends, they don't have any registration. One guy, in case if he plans to cheat others, he will bring together all those people and collects money from everyone. One fine day he'll run away. What do? You're done with it. You have lost the money, right? And this is why many people are losing money in Chit.
My Masi, my mother's sister, she actually one day called my mother and she was crying so much because exactly this happened, that one guy in their neighborhood who had opened the chit fund, he took away everybody's money and just eloped. And I believe that this is not legal, right?
No. Chit funds are legal. There are registered chit funds as well.
When it's run by a relative or friend who doesn't
Anybody,
have authority.
in case if he has taken the registration, he can run it. Law says that. Assume I want to run a chit fund tomorrow, I get it registered. As per law, if I'm running a chit fund, if I'm forming a group of 20 people, the first thing is the first chit money has to be in a bank account.
Okay.
I am not supposed to give it to people. Second chit onwards, I start giving it to people. Assume it's a 10 lakh rupee chit. I take my 5% running fee or 7.5% running fee. The remaining 9,25,000, people can go for auction where they start calling out saying, I'll give you 9 lakh or give it to me for 8.75 or 8.5, and then eventually one guy picks it up for 7 lakh. Now if the one who is running the chit, if he is lending that 7 lakh to that one member, he can't lend it outside the group. He can only lend it to the group members. So when he's lending that 7 lakh to the group member, he has to collect collaterals from him worth 7 lakh.
Okay.
If it doesn't collect collaterals, they even take 10 lakh rupee worth collaterals because the chit amount is 10 lakh. In case if it doesn't pay back the money, this asset is there is proper documentation for it, so we can go to court because it's a registered chit. But what happens mostly, they form these groups of people who are not eligible for loan in the bank, which means they have no assets. If you already have 10 lakh rupee worth assets, you'll go to bank and borrow at 8% interest.
Yes.
Why would you pay so much here? Because you don't have property. You're literally paying 40% man here. Bank is willing to lend you at 8%. Why would you pay 40%? Because banks are not willing to lend you because you have no assets.
Yes.
Which means you're not a prime customer. Which means these people who are contributing to the chit are taking extraordinary risk for no reason. See, I know we think, okay, by investing in chit, we make some extra bucks. But the problem here is when you invest in chit funds, extra return you're looking for carries that extra risk. Which means the chance of you losing entire money is very high. Recently this happened. A person I know for a very long time, he's been running chit fund for many years, in fact many decades. This guy has got like big guys, including some politicians as contributors. He runs this 5 crore rupee chit.
5 crore?
Crore rupee chit, where they contribute about, I think, 25 lakh rupee a month kind of chit. 5 crore rupee chits are all in cash.
This contribution is in cash?
Cash.
Oh my.
Okay? So now that guy, suddenly, due to some health issues, he passed away. Just imagine what happened to all those who were contributing there.
All their money is gone.
That happens. So the reason I suggest this is, please be very cautious. Many people run chit funds through cash. As per law, if you're running a registered chit, you're not supposed to deal in cash. And the other thing here is, which is very, very important, when it comes to these chit fund guys, those who run chit funds, there are primarily 3 kinds of chits. One, completely unregistered, which is illegal, it's a scam, don't invest. Whoever it is, your own family member is running it, don't invest. Because tomorrow he may not want to cheat you, but the people who have taken money from him may make him to cheat you. Which means, let's say now, I'm running a chit. I've not registered. I've got 20 people team. All of them have contributed. 3 guys who picked up the money, 3 different months. They have run away. They are not repaying the money. Now what do? I don't print currency notes, so I can't give you back.
Yes.
Though I don't want to cheat you, I will have to cheat you eventually because I have no option.
Yes.
Right? That's one unregistered chits, that's scam, that's fake. You may think, no, this guy is running it for the last 5 years. Pyramid businesses are all like that.
Yeah.
Initially, all are doing good. One day, they'll collapse completely, then you lose all the money. Don't do it. Same like cryptocurrency. The second one is, again, very interesting. These guys have registered. They've registered, but they run only 3 chits or 2 chits or 4 chits under the registered chit name. The remaining 10, 20, 30 chits, they run it without any registration, and that will not be in the mainstream, which means if anything goes wrong with those chits, you can't do anything, you lose money.
And he will show you that I have a registered chit fund.
Absolutely, they have a big board, and people think, oh, this guy has a registration, he has a company, he's got an office.
And no one really asks that my fund is running under the registered one or not.
How do you know? People don't know to validate that. So normally if you're doing that, if you're contributing to a registered chit, then you will be asked to put the money only to bank account. No cash transaction. But most of these guys, they run cash transactions. The number 3 are registered chits, completely legal, they run it. But mostly these guys who run chits are these kind of MSIL. In Karnataka, we have got Mysore Sales International Limited, which is a government of Karnataka undertaking.
Okay.
It's a PSU. Absolutely fine, you can run it. But the problem here is people who borrow money from chits, they are into loss. They don't realize that. See what happens, I've got a crore rupee asset. I'm contributing to a crore rupee chit. I want to raise money. I leave 30 lakh and I take, which means 30% interest I'm paying. More than 30%
Yes.
it comes to, right? MSIL kind of platforms or government run chits, they won't give you the money unless you have assets to give us collateral. If you have assets to give crore rupee collateral, why not going to bank and borrowing from there?
Yes.
You're making big mistakes. The problem, I'll tell you, most of these people don't have repayment capacity.
That's why they do
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, if government is really concerned about tax compliance, then they should ban this, I'll tell you. The reason is, a lot of these cash chits which run, those people, they earn a lot of money, but they don't pay taxes, they don't have income tax returns. That's why they don't get loan from the bank. So they do this
Yes.
to save time.
Basically, what I'm understanding here is that anybody who has black money would never invest in anything other than a chit, because they can invest their black money, gain interest and not pay the tax.
And that's where the big problem happens. If I'm somebody who's running a chit with all those guys who got black money, I take all their money and I run away. And these guys can't go and complain to anyone that I've done that, because their money is unaccounted. They have given me all in cash. There's no proof. What do? That's why if you are hearing here and there some complaints about chit fund, that's only 5% of the total crime which happens in chit fund.
Yes, like I told you.
95% of the chit fund crimes are not reported because these are all cash transactions which happens with total cash, and there's no trial or there's no proof for the transactions which they have done, which means no law can safeguard.
Now here we are talking about big people. I want to tell you that even a few homemakers do this. Like a homemaker will say, let's put a kitty. It's like a chit fund only. Let's put it together. And I hear so many stories that even they don't return. And then they start saying that I'm in a lot of debt, I can't give you. And because the wives have not told their husbands that we have invested, they also never complain.
Absolutely.
Their money is gone.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
You create more criminals in the society by doing this.
Yes.
See, my point is, when you have banks, when you have mutual funds, when you have RD, why do you want to take risk like this? It's meaningless, right? So I don't recommend chit funds to anyone. It doesn't make any sense.
What is the best alternative to chit fund?
RD, recurring deposit, start contributing whatever the money you can every month, and you save money, you accumulate, and when you have a decent sum, you can park that into real estate or sovereign gold bonds, or you can park that money into FD. You can go with other instruments, stocks as well, in the right time. Second option is, of course, mutual fund SIPs, which is again equally good. You can decide between 3-4 mutual fund SIPs and keep investing for long term. If this is in terms of I want to save money through mutual, chits. In case if you want to borrow money, increase your credit score, maintain a good credit score, have a good credit history, automatically banks will lend you money. Banks, businesses to lend you money. They want to make money by lending you money. It's not that they don't want to lend you money. Many people who's not eligible to get loan, they say no bank is willing to lend me. Man, banks are there to lend you money. If we all go to bank and keep deposits in the bank, banks won't make any money.
Yes.
Banks make money only when we borrow from them. The only problem is they're lending people's money,
Yeah.
not their money.
All the FDs I've done.
So they have to be very cautious. They can't lend it to anybody and everybody and lose all the money tomorrow.
And also banks have a reputation. They are a brand. They cannot, cheat people like the unregistered chit fund people can do.
Absolutely, this happens. See, now if you look at it, today if you put money into a bank account, even if they are a cooperative bank or a private bank, up to 5 lakh rupee FD or bank account balance, whatever you got, in case if they close down also, government will pay you under depositor insurance scheme.
Yes.
In case of private, public sector banks, never it will happen because government keeps capitalizing these banks.
Yes.
PSU banks, irrespective of how much money you keep there, it is safe.
I think people who actually do not have access to banking facilities or do not have knowledge, they also try to invest in a chit fund.
I would have agreed earlier. Maybe if you would have told me this 6-7 years back or 8 years back, I would have agreed. But things have changed now. Everyone has access to banking. People have got bank accounts. It is either their greed or their ignorance which is making them to do this.
Or maybe some of them actually know that they are doing the wrong thing, but they want to hide their
Again,
black money.
greed.
Yes.
I just want to earn more money.
Yes.
Because see, just think about it. They understand, oh, I'm going to get 30% profit, 40% profit. And then there's another area where these guys, they develop business like this. I'm running chits, okay? I want 20 people to contribute. Because by doing that, 7.5% of whatever they contribute is my fee, correct?
Yes.
So I'll tell everyone, you know what? You contribute. First chit itself, I'll give it to you. Someone is in urgent need of money. See, most of these guys who run chit funds are the money lenders also.
Yes.
So they lure people who come to them for borrowing money. Now, Sugandh will come to Sudhir and says, I need some 10 lakh rupee, I've got some emergency. I'll say that I don't have money now, but do one thing. I'm starting a new chit tomorrow. You contribute 50,000. First chit itself, I'll get you 10 lakh.
Yeah.
So you will come with 50,000. So all 20 people will contribute. Then of course, auction starts. Everybody will demand. Now Sugandh is in bad need, but I have promised the same thing to remaining 19 also. All 20 people I promised, you put 50,000, first chit itself I'll get you. Now what happens? Lottery happens or auction happens. The one who announces the highest, willing to lose the maximum money will get the amount. Now others are locked because they paid the first installment of 50,000. Now they can't skip then I'll tell everybody, don't worry, next time I'll get you. Now in the meantime, I'm making money because I get that 7.5%. So this is how people lure them and they put them into a trap.
So it's a vicious circle.
Absolutely.
So as you said that instead of chit funds, one should go for RDs, FDs. Isn't it that something should be done about these illegal chit funds? Because every day, let me tell you, I read everywhere that someone has run away with people's money. Is there something that
I've heard about hundreds of cases. Many people complain to me as well. They've gone to court. They've gone to police station. I have not seen any case where they got compensation. I'll tell you why. If I'm running a chit, I've raised some 20-30 crore from people. I'm running away means I'm not a fool to make assets in my name.
Yeah.
I make assets in somebody's name.
Yes.
Since these are all cash transactions, you can't trace it who I gave money, where I bought assets, where is the money. It's gone. I have not seen any case where they got compensation in chit fund fraud case.
Chit fund from the outside, it looks like a very lucrative thing, but actually it's really obnoxious when we go deep. It's a trap, and now it sounds like a mafia.
Absolutely.
That you are luring someone, actually you are making more criminals.
Absolutely. Stop doing it. I mean, there are so many other options. Chit fund is not the right way at all.
Correct. Thank you so much. I'm sure that a lot of people would benefit from this video, because first of all, people don't know what is chit fund. They will get to know what is it. Secondly, I feel that people get trapped because their own people, their relatives, their friends, their closed ones tell them that I have gained so much money, now you invest in chit funds. But definitely, chit fund is not a good option of investment or gaining money. Well, if you feel that after watching this video also you want to invest in chit funds, I would suggest that you go and read articles on how many people have been cheated due to these chit funds. Instead of chit funds, invest your money in RDs, tax saving FDs, mutual funds, and there are a lot more options. In every nook and cranny of India, there are post offices. You can invest in post office schemes too. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe to our channel, and there is the link in this description of our Freedom app where we teach you about personal finance. There are a lot of courses on personal finance that you can do and make yourself well equipped to face the financial situations in life. So this is your host Sugandh Sharma signing off by wishing you all the best for your financial future.